Yo, what he said?
He said he ain't trying to see that forehead.
They've been cooking that girl, bro. Let her live,
Yo,
bro.
rightfully
Let her
so, bro.
live.
Like
She does.
shit.
She is a bad casting for Ellie. Like
Nah,
I see cosplayers definitely looking,
More like
doing the
Ellen.
part. Yeah,
bro. Like I don't
her
know.
acting
They
ain't
could,
bad though, but god damn, she just doesn't look the part. She just don't look
Yeah,
the
man,
she
not
part.
at
did a
all.
decent. She impressed me with the acting. Like I
The
thought it would be
acting is
way
good.
worse. It
Yeah,
wasn't that bad, but as far as the looks,
just
especially
the
in
looks
season
is not.
two, she does not give
She
even
don't even look
older Ellie
older.
a little bit. She
Yeah,
don't. She looked
she don't
young
even
as
look
hell
older.
Bro, the
at
problem is
all.
they don't look rough.
That's
She's really
two.
loving
Their
there. You know what I
clothes
mean?
look mad clean. Like why y'all clothes look like they fresh out the
That
pack?
that's what I'm
There's
saying.
I
Like
don't see any scars on her or anything like that. No, like nothing.
Mhm.
yeah, the TV depiction is always just it's just been it is what it is. Yo, people enjoy it, so I
It's
ain't
too
even gonna shit
clean.
on it. People enjoy it though. Like the people who don't play the
They
video games,
do.
they
They
actually fuck with
do.
it heavy. Once again,
Yeah,
when they're bringing it up on the Joe Budden podcast, like Ice is like the
as a
only one out
gamer.
there is a gamer, but like Joe Budden be talking about that shit. So you already know like they already captured the audience that that's past the scope of people who just enjoy the game. You know what I mean? So
That
Yeah.
tattoo don't even look real on her arm, bro. Like,
all
what's going on?
right, let me go get a
He
bottle of
said the
water real
tattoo
quick.
is
But we
buns.
are live. We are live right now. We are
Live?
live.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
The
telling you
yeah.
right
tattoo,
now.
the tattoo not wrapped around like it is in the game. You know what I mean? It's just like,
It's one of them. Remember them tattoos as a kid in the bubble
yeah,
gum where you used to put it on your arm or something and put the water on it
you
and
fucking
tap it.
found the old gum.
The gum tattoos.
Yeah,
But now the trailer did get a lot of views, so Kofi is right about that part. But for somebody that plays the game, you looking at that shit like nah. Like even the Asian
yeah.
dude, what's the Asian character's name? I forgot his damn name. Um,
He's the guy, isn't he? The guy from he's the guy from Beef, right?
oh yeah. I think they said he was in Beef. What was his character name in the game though?
I have no idea.
How did I
He
forget his
wasn't
name?
important.
But now I was just saying like because they were showing like some clips of them like together, but he looked mad older than
I don't
the
know.
girl
I
that's
don't
playing
remember.
Ellie.
Oh, the girl that's playing it. She was in the recent Alien movie, but
Oh, the
she's
one that
old.
plays Dina, right?
Yeah, yeah, but
Yeah,
she's definitely over 20. I know that for sure.
yeah. Everybody just look older than like way older than Bella Ramsey.
I don't even Bella Ramsey, she look young and old at the same time, bro. Looking at like the Riddler at the red carpet too. Like what the fuck going on?
Y'all talk about that Abby casting? The Abby casting ain't too bad though. What y'all think about
No,
that one?
but that Abby Cassin, she could have either been Abby or she
Or
could have been
Ellie.
Ellie right now.
Been Ellie.
I seen everyone saying that.
She
Yeah,
fits
she
both. She fits both parts, honestly.
she just not muscular, but she kind of looks like Abby to me a little bit.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, they explain why they don't want somebody muscular for the show.
Why?
Oh, did they?
But-
What did they
Did
say?
they?
Yeah, because they were saying how in the game they want the differential of playstyles, you know.
Oh,
And
her
I
being
guess
more like a
I
brute.
guess they're taking a different approach for the show.
Mhm.
Yeah, because
Like,
it's
you
probably
don't-
not
you don't-
going to be as much
Yeah,
like action scenes and stuff.
because
Like
a
that.
gamer
Yo,
a
you know
gamer
what?
needs
I've
that.
never-
A gamer needs that, but the
Yo.
viewer doesn't.
I never thought about that. Why this whole time I never thought about that when it comes to The Last of Us Part 2, that Abby's Diesel, so she plays different than Ellie.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's
I
basically
never
like
really
the
t-
Joel.
I never really
character
took
type.
that in like that. I never really, I
Mhm.
just thought she was on some weirdo shit. But when you say it like that, it is true. Her
Because
playstyle's more brute, yeah.
she basically
That's crazy.
replaces Joel, so you need something in that category. You know?
Low
Right.
key, low key. I don't know why I never looked at it that way.
Yeah.
Even though it's right in front of my face, yeah, I never looked at it that way. That's crazy.
I definitely liked her parts the best, gameplay wise. Her shit was fire.
She damn near had the best sections in the game.
Or
Yeah,
But I didn't like the character. I didn't like the character too much because I didn't really care to sympathize with a brand new character when I already played a game with two characters that I loved. So like I really didn't feel bad for that character until towards the end of the game when you already know what happened to her at the end of the game, right? But
oh, you was one of them. They killed my Joel.
no, I'm not on that type of time. I just didn't care about Abby as a character too much until the very end. You were engulfed in her storyline right from the jump, J man.
Nah, not from the jump. Once we,
At what point did you be like, oh, I fuck with Abby? At what point?
I would say around the flashback part when you gotta kind of start from her. Nah, 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 when she was getting
That's
clapped.
what she went to do, man.
That's what you fucked with her.
I was like, yeah, they made that part for me. Yeah, yes, sir. Nah, like once they tell you more about her backstory and her growing up as a kid and shit like that, that's when I was like, okay,
I didn't give a fuck about none.
I understand about.
You don't kill
You
Joel.
didn't?
You don't kill Joel. Then for me to feel sorry for you, I felt like they intended for her to be like this hated character, probably towards the end until we can sympathize with her a little bit. What I believe they're called the Rattlers. The Rattlers. That's her, right?
Yeah. When they slumped that nigga left, or should I say that bitch?
That punch was crazy. That punch was crazy for real. But we back, man. We back. As you guys
got a
can
little
see,
consistency going on. Hold on.
as you
We
guys
missed a
can
week in a couple
see,
weeks.
this is still not 100% official. I gotta watch how a boy performs. I ain't gonna say no names. I gotta watch how somebody performs.
Yo,
very
Kofi
podcast.
Hold on. Kofi got me like a Black Mirror episode. If I don't say a few amount of sound amount was, my head about to explode, bro.
Yo,
You on a word count?
You know what I mean? We see how is it going. Strat did a good job last time on the pod. Tony. When
He said he was
talked,
moaning when he
alright.
was talking, but
I didn't bag that. Why does someone say you were moaning when you talk, bro?
I don't know, bro, but if he wants that, like, he must be familiar with that,
Oh man.
Hey.
Yeah, that's crazy. So you know what I mean? We got Strat and Tony. You know what I mean? And we're gonna see how they ride. Right? The two favorites are back together this time. So let's see how the podcast flow is. You know what I mean? The quote unquote big four, right, Tony? So we're gonna go ahead and do some introductions if you guys already know.
If we ever get Fantastic Four shirts, you know who's gonna be an Invisible Woman. We already got that squared away.
yes, Strat.
No, nigga, that's you. We're gonna make the curls look luscious. Don't even worry about it.
No. That's right.
Yes, sir. So we're gonna go ahead and do some introductions real quick, and we'll start off with Tony, bro. Tony, man, people already know you. If they've been following me long enough, they already know who you are. They already know who you are, bro. But you know what I mean? We got Tony on the pod. How's your week? How's your week been?
Decent. Still on Death Stranding, enjoying that.
There you go.
Probably what else came out that year? What else came out that year that it came out?
This man has been playing this game for like 2 or 3 weeks already. Crazy.
Was Ghost? No, Ghost was 2020. What was 2019? Might have been one of them.
It was a quiet year for it, wasn't it? Days Gone.
Halo
Gone.
Infinite.
Days Gone.
Oh, Days Gone.
If we're just talking about PlayStation, PlayStation didn't have much 2019. I think it was Death Stranding at the end of the year. And it was like Days Gone at the top. And I feel like we got like a little game.
Resident Evil
Genie?
remake. Resident Evil 2 remake.
Come on, bro. Come on.
No, we're talking about PlayStation games. I think that's what he's referring to. I don't think he's talking about.
Why you on the
multi-plats.
Oh, because that's all he got. Got it. All right.
I think it was Concrete Genie. Didn't Concrete Genie drop 2019? I feel like
that is a Tony.
Yeah, PlayStation. It wasn't a really big year for PlayStation in 2019.
It wasn't.
It wasn't a big year.
I'd probably say that would have been my game of the year if I enjoyed it back then.
What? Death Stranding?
I feel like it's gonna be one of those games, like where The Last of Us 2, like once you finish with it, everything's kind of ass now. Like, I mean, other games don't hit the same thing. Like,
yeah, the ending is definitely gonna have you like slumped a little bit, The ending's gonna have you slumped.
People telling me, it's gonna, it all comes together. It all comes together so far. Yeah. It's not coming together so far. It's not coming together,
yeah, the story be all over the place.
The game didn't click until that final cutscene.
And some of these, like the top, when you're talking to the terminals, like it's kind of ass. Those parts were just like the random NPCs. You'd be mad. That's one thing I'll say. But other than that, I'm enjoying it. Nice change of pace.
That's good.
Change of pace.
Strat, how you been, and what you been playing, bro?
Been good. Finished Metal Gear Solid. Moved on to Metal Gear Solid 2.
Okay.
And still pushing through the shadows.
All right, bro. All right. J-Main, what you been playing? Or you been shaking that ass again in the clubs? What you been playing? You been playing some games this week?
Nah, I definitely was outside this weekend. I went to a concert I went to a Millennium Tour concert. The shit with
Man,
Bow
let's
Wow.
go see Bow Wow. Man, let's go see Bow Wow. That's crazy,
bro. No disrespect
age.
on Bow Wow. That nigga, he could perform his ass off. Yeah, you know, early 2000s and shit like that. Rick Ross was there. Who else had? Trey Songz was there. Motherfucking Omarion was there. He actually
all the wash niggas. You pretty much should go watch.
Nah. Ross is washed? Damn, that's crazy.
Was it 50 Cent?
Was
it 50 Cent?
Just
50
Cent
clowning him?
30,000 for that.
Yeah, he was clowning him
30,000 for that.
Yeah, he was clowning him for that. But he only had like a 15-minute set, so shit. If he got that much for that, then that's easy bread. But nah, the shit was dope. It was dope as hell. But I was you know, I've been playing Assassin's Creed Shadows. Definitely put some more time into that. Enjoying the hell out of that game. I think we got a few topics on that later on. And then Final Fantasy Remake. You already know what time. I mean Rebirth. You know what time it is.
Okay.
Doing everything but playing Split Fiction with
That's facts. That's facts.
Yo, you made this guy steal my partner, bro.
I'm going to steal one night, bro. I'm going to steal one night. One night's been ducking me too, bro. I'm never going to beat this damn game, bro. And I started it on my platinum account, bro. I got to finish this game, bro, no matter what.
We got to finish it. We got to finish it.
Jesus,
for sure.
Man. That game was fire too, bro.
No, we got to finish it. It's just Sundays be good, but sometimes I'll be recovering on Sundays, but I'll be good. I got you. I ain't gonna hold. I ain't gonna. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna do you dirty.
To the club. Stop shaking ass, bro. You too grown now, bro. You old, bro. Stay ass aside, bro.
Now's the time. I ain't got no kids yet.
Them COVID years, you trying to get them back, huh? I missed them COVID years too.
For sure.
Them COVID years messed me up in my partying, yo. I can't even lie. Ever since COVID kicked off, I haven't been to a club since. Yeah, your boy got married and boy had a kid, bro. In the span of COVID, bro.
COVID sped up you staying inside the house life. Like that shit sped all of that up.
Yeah, for real.
But yeah, chilling.
And for me, what have I been playing? I'm playing a game that, you know, I'm gonna abide by the rules. I can't talk about until tomorrow, so I'll talk about it a little bit until tomorrow. So I'm playing a new game that I got. And what else? I got the platinum in Monster Hunter. Hunter. I was putting mad time in that shit. I finally did it. My first Monster Hunter that I actually played from beginning to end, and I got the 100%. So I'm very proud of myself. I actually got a video cooking up about it, which I'm gonna talk about it a little bit more about my experience. You know,
was it like a review or?
Not really. I don't really want to classify it as a review because I'm past that. But it's gonna be a little bit of just a journey. Me getting the platinum. Why was this like the first Monster Hunter game that I was able to beat, and just like talk about it a little bit.
Okay.
More. You know what I mean? I fully expected to go triple plastic, but I'm gonna do it anyway. You know what I mean?
If you name it properly though, like my first, you know, Monster Hunter ever.
You never know. You
might be able to get some
might
views.
tackle that community. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. They love seeing a nigga be like, "Oh, this is my first time beating something." Like, that'll pull out the heartstrings for real.
So yeah, I got the platinum in Monster Hunter Wilds. I'm playing a game that I'm reviewing, and what about? That's about it. I think that's all I've been really playing. And I haven't played Assassin's Creed Shadows in a couple of days, but I will be dabbling back into it real soon.
Okay.
All right, so that's pretty much it. I want to shout out a few people before we, go ahead with the first topic. I want to shout out Ruffle Mutt, Rich Homie Sean, Bias Gamer, Max, Diddy. Hold up. Diddy
in the chat?
Diddy in the chat? Oh, love. That's crazy.
Tony's fan? Oh.
Yo.
Shout out to Diddy, yo.
Diddy
GX,
said late. Why you was late, Diddy?
Take that.
Why you was late, Diddy? My wife put an extra 5 minutes in the shower. Freak ass nigga, Diddy.
We got Max in the chat. We got Bias Gamer Arcade. We got Jazzy Jefferson. What's good? We got Blade X. We got Jet Life with a super chat donation as well. It says, "Are y'all getting Berserker? Best combat since Neo." I haven't really been seeing much people talk about that game, man. I haven't seen much people talk about that game, and to be honest, it's not really on the list of games that
I mean, for a Souls
my
fan,
priority list. It's not on my priority list, but it is something I want to check out eventually. So I'll get to it.
I'm gonna get it eventually. I'm gonna just wait for a sale though, because I know at this point I got
other shit to play. I got other shit to play right now. You know what I mean? So.
But I did play that demo, beat the demo, and it was
it nice?
So hell yeah, I beat the demo. I was like, I need to play that. It's not that bad.
People say it gets hard. Like I
feel like it would get easier the more shit you want, but we'll see.
Hey, that's music to my ears, bro.
Because I hear the game's very loop based.
Yeah, it is. It's like early Souls games.
Mm.
Like, very linear.
Okay, who else up in the chat that needs a quick shout out? Marshmallow. What's good? 8K L Max, what's up? What's up? What's up? It's Black Ace. What's good? What's good? Drew 2 Muck. What's up? What's up? What's up? So shout out to everyone who's tuning in to watch the podcast live. Shout out to Leaky. I see you in the chat as well. And we're gonna go ahead and jump into some of these topics. Let's talk about the Nintendo Direct, man. Let's just kick it off there.
Oh,
let's
start there,
time, bro. Let's get this shit off. I loosely watched the Nintendo Direct. I didn't watch it from beginning to end. I loosely watched it. This was a surprise Direct. It came out of nowhere. Like, we were expecting the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct next week, but apparently Nintendo had a little bit more to show for the Switch before.
Yeah, there was some speculation about this one going around. Nate the Hate actually confirmed his rumor the other day, so that's when I knew it was like probably locked in. But yeah, outside of that, they didn't talk about this Direct at all from Nintendo side, like until they announced it.
Okay.
Nate the Hate, you didn't tap in with Dr. Trey?
Oh, he been you? He been you?
Dr. Trey be knowing, dog.
All right, so yeah, the Direct came out of nowhere, and it was primarily focused on Nintendo Switch releases. They already came out and jumped ahead and said, yo, we're not going to talk about anything that's going to be on the Switch 2. And it wouldn't make any sense. Why would they show Switch 2 content when they could just pile it in and make the Switch 2 Direct all that more exciting? You know what I'm saying? So obviously we didn't expect anything. We don't have to go by game because I don't want to even do that. But I do want to talk about some of the highlights during the Direct.
Sure.
And we could start off with a big one, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond.
Yes,
I might be the only person on this podcast that has completed the Metroid Prime series. Is that true?
That would be true. That would be true for sure.
Yo,
I played a few hours of the remaster version, but I don't know. The game came out.
You have to stick with it, bro. Metroid Prime 1 is a classic.
I also need
thought they was
Nintendo
gonna come out with the rest of them.
Yeah, people are saying they might put 2 and 3 as like a single little collection because they're not doing the full remaster thing for those.
Yeah.
Oh, you saying like not go as in depth as
they did like they almost remade one,
Right. I see what you're saying.
And then just remastered the other 2.
It would have been nice if the Switch got the other 2, like you were saying. Okay, so but y'all laid on me. Pause. What's y'all thoughts of Metroid Prime 4 Beyond? This, even though as a group of folks who hasn't played a Metroid Prime game, did this pique your interest in any sort of fashion? I'll quickly say that the graphics for a Switch game, the graphics and the art style look fantastic. I think Retro nailed it.
They do.
You think they're running this this was shown on the original Switch, or you think that's Switch 2 footage?
I don't know. It was looking very crisp for like
absolutely this is Switch 1. Because don't get it wrong, Metroid Prime, the remake joint, don't look too far off from this. Right. It don't look too far off from this, especially if you're playing that shit portable with the OLED. That shit look good, bro.
People say that's like one of the best looking Switch games. Like,
Metroid Prime, So this is believable to be running on the Switch. It doesn't look drastically like much better like that, but it's a good looking game, man. So how y'all feeling about it?
I'm excited. I feel like I don't know if the first 3 had any like mechanics like they're showing with this telekinesis thing in this one.
That's new.
The first 3 didn't have anything like that. It was just run and gun.
It wasn't just run and gun, but it's a Metroidvania, right? It's just third person. So you obviously unlock things as you progress, whether you get new suits. Like you played the 2D joints,
I played Dread.
Right? So so it's pretty much the same thing for the 3D joints. A lot of backtracking, you get different power-ups, let you explore new areas, stuff like that. But
I can definitely see it.
The telekinesis stuff is
still my favorite. Yeah. That's still, it looks good. I like Shad was saying, I like the telekinesis stuff going on, and the environments like Metroidy with the jungle aspect, and then you got like some of the interior alien looking style facilities and stuff like that, and caves and all of that. That's one thing, like as far as like the gameplay goes, that I'm expecting them to knock it out the park. They gave us a teaser with the sidekick abilities, but I know they'll go crazy with that kind of stuff. So it looks good.
Yeah, I feel like that'll be mostly like something for puzzles.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, no, they showed something with that sidekick ability with the gun
firing,
too.
but like I think that's just a
like
show.
You can control the bullets or something like that.
Like when you, I mean, maybe for something that's far away, but how often? I don't know. How often you're going to use something like that to kill enemies? We'll see.
Right.
This whole formula is peak. This whole formula is peak.
Yeah.
Like I love the Metroid formula. Like once again, I remember playing Dread. That was like one of my favorite games. I don't remember what year it released. I think it was like 2022 or 2021 or some shit. But Dread was one of my. Yeah. When did Dread drop? Wasn't it 2022?
It was not 2021. No way. That was like. I thought that
Dread
was.
Drop? When did
was that not 2018?
No.
Dread was that old? Dread is not that old.
Dread's old, bro.
No, you're thinking of Samus Returns.
No, I'm thinking of the Dread.
No, Dread is not
Dread
that
was
old.
21.
Dread no 21. Way.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
That game is not that old. That game is
I swear that game came out forever ago.
No, it's only 2021, bro. Yeah, so Dread is such a fucking good game. I really suggest like Tony try it out. Like I know Strap played it. You said you played it, Strap.
I played Dread, yeah.
Okay, so Tony, you need to play Dread. If you got a Switch lying around, go play Dread. That game is fucking fantastic.
I was telling you earlier, there's a lot of Switch games that I was like, I get this when Switch 2 comes out. So I'm gonna have a loaded library when it drops. But this new one, I don't know. It kind of reminded me of the Doom games, and I don't really like the Doom games.
It don't play like that. I can promise you, it don't play like that.
It doesn't.
It don't play like no Doom. Yeah, it don't play no.
Nah.
Doom. Yeah.
Okay. You don't fuck with none of the new Doom games?
Nah.
I like the first one, but Eternal wasn't. I'm not fucking with Eternal.
I had the other. I heard people say the first Doom is there, and then Eternal was.
Nah, picked it up. I think Eternal was way better than 2016.
Yeah, I think both. I think they're both fantastic. I ain't gonna hold you. I think both of them are fucking really good, bro. Yeah. All right, so Metro Prime, man. Metro Prime 4 Beyond. I guess I don't know what else that I can say.
It's still on for 2025. I think. I do think they focusing on showing this before the Switch Direct because they just want to assure people since it was revealed while the original Switch was out, like this is still coming to the original.
I think
Switch.
I think it comes with the launch of the Switch 2.
That'll be fire.
So
that would be fire.
This is the JPEG. This is the JPEG game, or is this something?
This is the JPEG one. This is the JPEG one.
Just because with all the other games they put fall 2025, like with Pokemon, and this one they just said 2025, so I assume
I could see
Switch launch window.
You know what I could see? I could definitely
Zelda
see
type situation.
I could see this one being a comparison video too during next week. I could see them pulling this game back up and being like, this is what we're doing on like this is how the game looks on the Switch 2 versus the Switch 1. I could see them doing something like that next week for the Switch 2 Direct.
I don't know if they do that.
You don't?
I don't think Nintendo's gonna do it.
Yeah,
but I think a lot of other websites will.
I don't think that's not a smart move, just because then you stop people from buying it on the Switch. You know what I mean?
You think that really stopped? You really think that stopped?
That's why PlayStation didn't do it to any of their games for the Pro.
Well, I think
they did it with Last of Us.
Yeah, but that might be not a bad thing to do to differentiate, just to show people like, yo, this is the kind of the performance type of boost that we see. Like, who else is gonna present that? They have to let us know that games, older Switch games are gonna run better. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
But Nintendo's gonna say that.
Just, like, yo, they can just say that. Do you wanna show 150 million Switch users that this game not gonna look as good on the Switch 2?
Well, but the thing is, I think Nintendo will do anything to sell this new hardware, because I don't think they're gonna even stock the old Switch. They're not gonna stock the old Switch anymore after this drop.
Oh yes, they will. They definitely will.
You think they're gonna really manufacture the old joints? I don't think so. Why? Because everything's backwards compatible.
They're gonna put the price. They're gonna lower the price. People still gonna, these little indie devs. People buy the Switch for these indie games. And that's running on Switch.
That'd be surprising if they move on. Like, you know, I can see Nintendo moving on faster than like what a PlayStation or Xbox would do from a thing like that, just because their fan base is just a different breed when it comes to like just supporting their hardware. I think Nintendo could get away with doing a pretty hard cutoff for the Switch. So you guys believe we're gonna see a lot of cross-gen titles between the Switch and the Switch?
Might see a few. Not a lot,
I don't think so though. I don't think we're gonna see much. Because historically, Nintendo doesn't really go crazy like that.
I'm talking about third party too, though. They're definitely gonna keep stocking it.
Yeah.
Why? I don't see why third party would stop making games for over 100 million console users.
Well,
that's a good point.
Nintendo's planning. Well, they seem to have some projections for the Switch 2 to go fucking nuts. They're expecting the Switch 2 to go nuts, and you already know they're dropping a Mario Kart at launch. Most likely, that system is gonna fly off the shelf just because of Mario Kart alone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
for sure. That's still like one of the best selling games over there.
Yeah. All right, so
I get to play Kofi because Kofi been talking spicy about how nice.
I'm the Mario Kart GOAT. I'm the Mario Kart GOAT. And I don't know if I'm the GOAT.
It's a Mario Kart.
Oh, you trying to say you couldn't play online?
Bro, I'm the Mario Kart GOAT.
Guys, but Switch.
Strat can't fuck with me. None of the niggas in this fuck
I got screenshots on screenshots of me on the podium.
I lose here and there, but my win ratio is like a 90-10. It's a 90-10 my win ratio.
Yeah, the one time I fucking lose,
Mario Kart. The one time I fucking lose, guess what? Niggas make a big deal out of it. They screenshot it. They post it on Twitter. They post it in Discord, bro.
That.
You know how many times I win in Mario Kart? These guys can't even bang in 200cc. They're not on my level. They're not on my level, bro.
Kofi not competing in competitive games no more, bro.
200cc mirrored. You don't know.
Y'all tell me the last time y'all seen Kofi play a competitive game, all right?
Bro, I'm an old man. Listen. I'm fully ready to accept I'm past my prime when it comes to competitive. I'm no bum, but I'm past my prime in competitive nature. Like I told you in the Discord, Strat. Like I told you in the Discord, back in my old days, in my high school days, Strat, you would not fuck with me in Halo.
Stop it.
Years in my high school days, I was that guy.
You at your prime.
I was that guy, bro.
Me and my prime are completely different.
You're in your prime now, and you're not even that good, bro. You're in your prime right now, and you're not even that good, bro.
That's not it right now,
bro. You 100% in your prime. You ain't in your prime. You're still a young boy. Wait till you get a wife. Wait till you get a wife. Wait till you get kids. Then you're gonna see that your reflexes ain't the same no more, yo. Your reflexes ain't that good. You gonna see it. You gonna see, bro. But yeah, man. Back to this direct. I guess another highlight would be the Pokemon. The Pokemon game that they showcase.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, bro, Jay may speak on it because I didn't watch the joint. I ain't gonna hold you, bro. I didn't watch this.
No, they just
Pokemon in 2025, big deal.
Well, I like this Pokemon because I feel like this is where they going in a little bit of a different direction.
Same.
With being able to catch the Pokemon out in the wild and shit like that. And the battles taking place also outside the wild. But they just showed a little bit more of the areas and the location that this game is taking place. I think they said this is the same location as the what game is it? Pokemon? Was it X and Y or was it X and Y or Black and White? One of those. I think.
X and Y, I think.
Yeah, I think it was X and Y. And then they showed like they have this pretty much. I call it the turn up mode, but basically at nighttime is when all like the Pokemon trainers come out. And
that's perfect for Jay, man. Go out.
You already know. I'm outside at nighttime, but they come outside at nighttime, and that's when you go and like battle and stuff like that between the different Pokemon trainers and stuff. You can sneak attack them to get like the battle.
That was crazy. That's dirty sneaking attack.
Yeah, that reminds me of like Persona and stuff like other RPGs.
This joint looks like this joint looks like Power Worlds right now.
This is the one it was doing for because they said they took the formula from this game.
Yeah, definitely X and Y. So yeah,
and it's got like a little progression thing. You start off from like a ranked Z to A. You know what I mean?
I got beef. I got beef with Pokemon Company. I ain't gonna lie. I got beef with them.
I mean, the visuals definitely could be better. Like we're not even going to deny
Switch 1 visuals, and let's wait until the Switch 2. You know?
I'm just.
I don't think they're gonna do much better than that.
Yeah.
They fucking lazy when it comes to the visuals.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like
lazy, bro.
Such a successful IP that is literally one of the most popular franchises in entertainment, period. Like the latest Pokemon games, bro. Like I feel like they should be cooking up something special across. They should have
stuck with the Let's Go style.
Yo, the Let's Go graphics are nice. I actually like that. But people were shitting on that. I remember when that came out and people were shitting on
that. Well, not the gameplay wise, but the visuals. No, maybe make it a little. That's crazy. That's the best looking one to this day, I think.
I agree. I think the Let's Go shit look good, but people didn't like that style though. I remember people specifically shitting on that. I'm pretty sure Jazzy's a Nintendo guy, right? So I'm pretty sure he will confirm that. I remember people talking down on that Let's Go shit. I
enjoyed that. That was good.
I enjoyed it for what it was. The gameplay was definitely like, even more bare bones than typical like Pokemon games. That's super easy and casualized. But
yeah, I guess it was like a nostalgia trip, almost like seeing those levels in those towns and stuff in that type of way, with the upgraded visuals and all of that.
I don't know, but I will say that like this the Legends series that Pokemon is doing is definitely the most change that they have done in a really long time. I will say that, but I feel like it still feels a little tech demo-y to me. You know what I mean? Like I don't know why. I remember when that first one dropped. Shit looked like it had some N64 textures and shit like that.
Like it has a good skeleton, but the visuals need to be upped.
Yeah, man. Like, make this shit like a premium shit. We know like the Switch is capable because we see great looking games like Breath of the Wild. Like Breath of the Wild look fantastic on the Switch. Like, why doesn't Pokemon look that good, bro?
Or even like the Xenoblade games.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't understand. But hey, man,
I heard them Xenoblade games running crazy though.
Yeah. Xenoblade 2 ran nasty. I remember that, yo. That
on Switch.
Yeah, the Pokemon games be running nasty now too. Like, and they don't even look half as good. So
it's definitely gonna be interesting. I would love to see the Switch 2's performance on this game in comparison to like, the OG Switch.
Get ready for them videos.
Is it supposed to be better than the Steam Deck? Or are we?
I feel like people were saying it was comparable. It's not like much better.
It's got NVIDIA. It's got some type of upscaling. It's allegedly.
That's gonna be interesting to see if it's not better than the Steam Deck, or it's on par with that.
Maybe it's on the ballpark. How about the ballpark?
I think
that's. I mean, that spells good for the Nintendo games because they don't be pushing the visuals and shit like that too crazy.
Yeah, I think for their specific games, it's fine. I think that's more than enough power because like what you just said right there, like they don't really go for the highest fidelity. They don't aim for like having ray tracing reflections and RTGI and all sorts of crazy shit. Like they don't be doing that in their games, right? So for the type of games that they make, the Steam Deck performance would be pretty good. I won't even lie. Steam Deck performance would be pretty good.
True.
Is it confirmed that the screen is 1080p? Does anyone know? Or is it?
I think that's like. I think that was leaked. Yeah.
That is 1080p.
Mm-hmm.
Even that would be a good jump. I ain't gonna lie. Even that would be a good jump for the display.
I mean, it doesn't need to be a lot when it's handheld though. Like Steam Deck at 800p is fine.
I agree. I definitely do agree. All right. So this was an interesting point that came out of nowhere to me when Nintendo started talking about digital game sharing. So I'm a little confused by this. God. I don't know if Tony watched the video and he understands this.
It seemed pretty straightforward to me. I don't know why he was so confused.
I was a little confused, bro. They made this shit fucking complicated, bro. I was a little confused. Like, explain it for me, then. What's going on with
when I was watching it? When I was watching it, I thought I was gonna be short. I'm like, yo, Kofi was at it tonight. This was some big brain. I'm like, yo, let me see what this is. I was like, I have to put my thinking cap on to watch this video. But then they explained it, and they were like,
all right, so break it down, Mr. Smart Guy. Break it down.
They were like, yo, if you have the one device, right, you can put it on the other device, but then you can't play. You got to switch between the two. It's like you have a physical game. You can't have it in both systems at the same time. So you got to switch between the two, right? And then they said, so I'm like, okay, that was simple. Is this what Kofi was talking about? And then they introduced the family shit. I'm like, this is what they about to cook me. So I'm watching it, and it was just like. It seemed like they were saying you can just like a physical game, you can hand it out and you can give it to someone on the family plan and they can hold on to the game for 14 days.
So
you can't play it, so you won't be able to play it. So you won't be able to play it.
So the one on the family plan only works if you in proximity though.
Proximity?
You see what I'm saying? I thought you knew what's up.
I thought you knew what's up. Switch by switch. You know what I mean? They have to be like literally like that.
Okay,
if it's on the family plan, if it's just your two accounts, you can switch it from any point.
Okay, so pretty much if you got a Switch, that's on your account, and you're over at my crib, right? We chilling, right?
I can give it. I mean, on the plan, I can give it to you.
So,
two grown ass men in the house with a Switch? Nah, that don't sound good.
No, with two Switches.
Okay, so all right, so I got my Switch, you got your Switch, right? You're saying for me to share a virtual game with you, you got to be right beside me? Is that how it works?
That literally in the visual they showed. they
so for the very first time that you want to share with that person, it has to be local.
Oh, is it for the very first time?
Yeah, you only got to do it one time. No. You only got to do it one
So
time. And then after that,
I thought that was just for.
See, I told you
your
it's confusing, Tony. You're trying to laugh at me.
No,
See,
I think that's if it's just two of the same accounts, it's only one time. But if it's through the family plan, you gotta literally switch it, go up to your family member and switch it off.
That might be.
And they get to hold it. And they get to hold it for 2 weeks. They get to hold it for 2 weeks.
And then it goes back to you.
They didn't make it clear about that one. If it's with a family member or
you keep
a random, right?
Keep the safe game.
Yeah, with the family member. Yeah, you have to be in proximity. It looks like.
So I can't share a virtual game from you across like where you're at right now. That's what you're telling me.
Yeah.
Right.
Cannot.
Cannot.
That's lame then. That's a little lame then.
This is literally for families.
Yeah.
So it's.
But the crazy thing is, you
Go ahead.
you can do game sharing like on the Switch, like PlayStation, but the people can't be playing this game at the same time.
That's
so I don't know why they just didn't improve on that instead of doing all of this.
Is that actually true? If I sign in, if you sign into my shit, you can download my shit pretty much.
Yeah. So
but
like we do with. Like we deactivate the account and then you go on I'll go on your PlayStation, activate the account. I could play your games, but if you decide to play it or want to play a game and you activate my system on your account and you want to play one of the games I own, it'll just boot off the person that has that account as primary.
Yeah, it's a mess.
Yeah, they gotta work on this.
That's why their games sell 30 million.
Yeah.
Ain't no game sharing.
You ain't telling no lies, bro.
I do be wondering how much sales they lose through the game sharing.
This is for people like Stress. Game sharing with like 5 people.
Hey, the family plan I've seen. I'm the one that buys it. No, that's a lie.
Well, you could do that on Steam, like how you do on the consoles.
They be beefing over.
Apparently, pretty.
Nah, everybody been participating pretty well.
Really? I didn't know about the Steam game sharing like that. I haven't tried it out yet.
They would there was like the 5th spot on Strat's family plan. They would jumping people and jump. You have to get jumped in to get the 5th spot.
Yeah, what mic you using, Tony? Your shit is a little staticky. What mic you using? Using a different mic?
I'm using the same.
It's botted a little bit.
Yeah, you bought it.
I'm not sure.
Either unplug it and plug it back in, or leave and come back in.
Yes, sir.
That pop filter not helping with the popping.
All right, so virtual game cart, and they confirmed that the Switch 2 is gonna have the same sort of virtual sharing.
Yep.
I'm scared, bro. I really hope the Switch 2 doesn't have the same UI as the Switch 1, bro. Can you imagine? Can you imagine?
They going all out for the UI. You understand?
You think so? You think so?
No, I don't. I'm just trying to hype myself up.
Oh,
dude, they didn't switch
bro.
They didn't switch the UI on the Switch the past 10 years.
Bro, they had 2 themes on that shit. They had the
black and white
shit's themes. Black and white. They ain't even bring no other colors.
Bro,
or nothing
can you
like
imagine if you boot a Switch 2 and the UI is pretty much the same? Can you imagine?
Hey, that's how it was on Xbox.
Bro. Yeah, and I thought that. I hate that. I fucking hate that Xbox did that shit.
Like you want to get a new system and feel like it's different, like from the
me too. Yeah,
from everything, from booting it up to how the controller feel, maybe or.
Oh God, I hope the UI is different, bro. I hope the UI is different.
I think it will be though. I think it will be.
Is there anything else that was notable that we should discuss? Actually, I do know something.
That's the Marvel Invasion game.
That looks
Can't
dope.
wait for that.
Made by the people that made Shredder's Revenge.
Yep.
Fire.
Shredder's Revenge, Streets of Rage.
Yeah,
that looks straight out the arcade, dog.
Yeah,
that looked great. They added in that move from Marvel vs. Capcom, the little Easter egg right there for Wolverine, and he lays.
Oh, I got it.
That does look good. That does look good. What's it called? You know what was interesting about this direct, right? PlayStation, man. PlayStation showed up.
PlayStation pulled up.
PlayStation showed up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right. So to our surprise, more PlayStation IP is appearing on Nintendo. More PlayStation IP is appearing on Nintendo. They announced a new Hot Shot Golf for the Nintendo Switch, and this is not one that's already been made that they're just porting over. This is a brand new one. No,
new entry.
I've seen it.
It's a new entry.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a new entry of Hot Shot Golf that's coming to the Nintendo Switch, and it's later been revealed that it's coming to the PS5 as well as Steam
and PC
and Steam. And another one that was a pretty good surprise was Patapong. Patapong is coming to the Nintendo Switch and Steam and PlayStation 5 as well. Patapong 1 and 2 replay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So these are a classic PSP game, man. That's a classic.
Just ports. I don't know. I
that
think
was,
it has some
a
new
port of a
gameplay
collection.
features.
Yeah, new features.
But yeah, it's like a collection.
It's a collection.
1 and 2.
Yep. Okay, so how y'all feeling about PlayStation making a conceited effort to drop more games on the Nintendo Switch? And granted, they're trying to do this loophole type of way where they're getting Bandai to publish these games, right? They're licensing the IP to Bandai, so Bandai could either develop these and publish it. But how do you guys feel about that? You know what I mean? PlayStation seems to be wanting to support the Switch more and more with, once again, Lego Horizon Adventures. Now we got Freedom Wars. Now we got Patapon 1 and 2. And now Hot Shot Golf. How do y'all feel about this?
Y'all getting all the bangers, huh?
I mean, these are big. People love these games, though.
Yo,
I think it's smart. I think it's a great idea, and I love to see it, especially with dormant IPs that these games. Look, if PlayStation released these games themselves on PlayStation only, like those games will go like triple plastic.
It's games that fit the Switch.
That's what I'm saying. All these Switch guys that be crying about Studio Japan getting closed down. I need them to show up. Man's like Blandrew. I need them to show up, show out. You know what I mean?
And guess what? They ain't showing for Freedom Wars either. Ain't nobody buying that shit. That shit already on sale, dog. They're already in my
Nintendo crowd is the only people that hype these games up. So
that's true.
Let's see.
So that's why it's smart on PlayStation to do, because they know that people over there might buy it at least. People on PlayStation,
they're not buying. They're not supporting.
They're not buying this shit.
Yeah,
they're not buying this shit.
That's unfortunate. That's an unfortunate reality. A lot of these like old school PlayStation IP that like we grew up playing, if they were to come out today, a lot of them will flop. So if PlayStation is deciding to take a multi-platform approach with some of these dormant IP to get them out, hey, I'm all for it, yo. Put it on Switch, put it on PC, put it on everywhere. You think it's kind of petty that they're not coming to Xbox? What do you think?
I think
no.
And what's the reason?
I don't think
Xbox man's definitely not buying.
They wouldn't buy it. They wouldn't buy it.
They might be able to get a little Game Pass bag though. They might be able to get a little Game Pass bag to put these games on there. Outside of like physical or buying the digital fully, maybe not. But I couldn't see why they wouldn't like try to put it on Game Pass or something like that.
Hear me out though.
I think that'll be a good idea.
Yo, hear me out. How crazy is Patapon 1 and 2 going on Steam? Like, let's be for real.
Oh, ain't nobody.
I mean, I feel like more people on Steam would buy that than Xbox.
Yeah, for sure.
Even if that's the case, but is it going to be by much? Is it going to do a lot of like, Patapon 1 and 2 is not going to go crazy on Steam. So that's why I'm question. My question is, why is Xbox always being excluded?
Is
PlayStation still giving the stiff arm? They're stiff arming them.
PlayStation not gonna stop until they're done.
Absolutely are. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, business
they still think
makes
that's
sense.
The main
but...
competition. They still think that's the main competition, I guess. So they're not trying to give no help.
Yeah, but which is pretty wild though, because at the same time, like
they're
already cooked. Microsoft's already cooked, and they're putting all their games on PlayStation. Like Forza's like launching next month, maybe or maybe in the next 2 months on PlayStation. And it's a rumor that Gears is coming to PlayStation. It's a rumor that Halo's coming to PlayStation. Like, yo, y'all can't even throw it on Patapon 1 and 2, J man.
I feel like there gotta be some statistics, and like they're just not gonna buy the game.
It probably would be a waste of money. Like looking at Freedom Wars Remastered, that came out on Steam. 3,000 people was the peak. Right now, 18 people in the game. Like nobody really even playing these over there. Like the Patapon games, they're gonna have a little subsection. But if Steam can't even get you to get tens of thousands of people, then what they gonna do on Xbox? That's what I'm saying. If they probably couldn't get the Game Pass bag, they probably like, fuck it, it's not even worth it.
Bro, if it's not on Game Pass, Xbox guys, I'm buying it.
Yo, but I guess my argument is the reason why you're putting these dormant IPs everywhere, like the Switch and Steam, is to reach as much people as you want. Is it really that expensive to move those games, put that game also on Xbox just to get a few extra more sales, even if it's not a lot? Like, isn't that the whole reason you're doing this? From what we've seen
from other games, like PlayStation, or on a PC, it costs at least a few million. for those games.
But think about it. They're already not trying to spend.
Those are major games, though.
I don't know.
They're already not trying to spend no money. They outsourcing these, so they're already not trying to spend that much money in house. They outsourcing the shit, and then they putting it everywhere. So you got to think, if they think it's going to be a little bit of extra more money to put it on a platform that might not bring back any return, they probably like, nah, we're not doing that. Like we wouldn't touch these if these other third party companies wasn't going to be publishing these. So they not trying to, like, you know, I don't think they trying to like go anywhere where it's not worth it.
I think that's a poor excuse, because I don't think Freedom Wars, I don't think Patapon 1 and 2, and I don't think Hot Shot Golf was going to do any sort of crazy numbers on PlayStation, Steam, anywhere else. I think this is just a farm, bro.
That is my point, is that they're not going to do crazy over there, so it's going to do even worse on Xbox.
That's crazy.
So what's the point?
That's crazy. Nah, the optics are just nuts, you know? The optics are just nuts. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It is at this point, because the console war is over.
The console war is over. Like,
you might as well at least try, but I don't know.
Who knows?
They know.
Okay.
But now, so at this point, how do you feel about the whole PlayStation games on Nintendo? Like, do y'all think this is going to expand as far as them getting, you know, some of the bigger games that go over to PlayStation? Go over to Nintendo?
No.
What about like an Astrobot?
No, that's a staple, right?
I don't think Astrobot will see a Switch 2. The reason why I don't see Astrobot seeing a Switch 2, because the game's whole theme is around almost like PlayStation's legacy, in a sense, where like you have all its peripherals and shit. Like that'd be just such a strange sight. That'd be that'd be a big advertisement for I guess for PlayStation if they released that on a Switch platform, because literally the collectibles and stuff, like you're literally flying around in a PlayStation console, bro. It just seems a little weird. even if Astrobot does come to PC, like that'd be even pretty a surprise for me as well.
Yeah.
To see if even that's the case. But I could see it coming to PC first before the Nintendo Switch.
Switch.
But for games like The Last of Us, God of War, no, I don't see PlayStation porting those games to Nintendo Switch. I don't think that would happen. But I definitely could see them continuing this trend with like these legacy titles, these dormant IPs, and I could definitely see new titles that make sense.
Spin-off titles.
Yeah, new titles that make sense, like the Lego Horizon. Yeah, I could definitely see PlayStation's developing something that they feel like will have an audience here that makes sense. I feel like they would do it. I think we're just there now when it comes to this game.
If it fits, you know.
I think if it fits, they'll put it over there.
It's all been second party so far, right? With Lego Horizon and all these ones. So
Padapon's nuts. It's like,
well,
there's first party IPs, but they're
first party IPs.
They're published by somebody else,
and
developed and stuff like that.
So like maybe there's rumors that Gravity Rush was going to get like a remaster or a collection, right? I could see something like that.
I could see that happening.
A multi-platform across everything.
Movie coming out, right? So
yeah, well, they're supposed to be working on something. So
drop side by side.
So I would not be shocked to see more support from PlayStation or more PlayStation IP appear on the Switch. I will not be shocked. Do I think it's going to be the major like blockbuster hits? Probably not. But the games that could fit on the platform that makes sense, I think they would do it. I don't think PlayStation is past doing that. So I think that's just where we at. I think that's where we at right now.
Shit, how much of them new PS5 games could even run on that Switch 2? I don't know. That should be.
That's what I'm saying.
It'd be interesting to see.
That's what I'm saying.
They're running on PS4, so.
I mean, they got Assassin's Creed Shadows running on Steam Deck, so.
Does it run well though? Shit, getting
30 frames. 30 frames.
Come on, real? I need to
pretty consistently, you know.
Come on, man. They Switch gamers can't be down that bad. They're not trying to play no.
My brother.
Switch gamers
Xenoblade Chronicles. Have you seen Xenoblade Chronicles running on the Switch game, man?
Come on, they want better for themselves for the Switch too, man. They can't be that.
I don't think they care, bro.
They don't care, bro. They'll play a game at 340p with dynamic resolution, bro, at 25 frames per second.
They want the whole slate by any means over there. Huh? I couldn't. I want better for my Switch brothers. I want better for the Switch gang and the Joy-Con boys, man. I want better for y'all.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be an interesting future. I think this next decade, I think a lot will change again. Like it seems like every decade we're seeing some major changes in the gaming industry. I think this next decade, a lot of things will probably change.
Things are getting expensive. They need money.
Yeah. The only
So
company
hold on.
that could
I
pull
got
off this shit is Nintendo, bro. They're the only ones who could do this true exclusive shit, bro.
That's true. But I got a question. Like, why does Nintendo feel comfortable putting games on Nintendo and not on Xbox?
Say that
like,
again.
why
You mean PlayStation?
Yeah, my bad. Why does PlayStation feel like they're okay with putting certain games on Nintendo and not Xbox?
I think it came out that people that own a Switch, like either own another console, most likely, and that's most likely the PS5.
You know what? They target two different groups. You don't think they target two different groups? Once again, if you're a competitive gamer, you're not playing on the Switch. I'm sorry to tell you guys that you're not playing that. If you're like one of those esports gamers, you're not playing on the Switch. You want the latest Call of Duties, you want the latest Battlefields. What? Say that again? What?
They're going crazy on ARMS over there. You didn't see
ARMS,
the Splatoon streets, bro. Crazy though.
I get it. Yes, they have some competitive games like the Smash.
Bro, the Splatoon scene is wild, bro.
Well, I'm telling you,
y'all just went crazy for 5 minutes on Mario Kart. Like, come on, don't be telling it's not competitive.
But y'all know what I'm talking about. Like, it doesn't. I feel like the two audiences are different. Until Nintendo Switch literally offers the same amount of third-party games and is competing on a multiplayer scale. That's when PlayStation will probably be. We don't want to play our games here. They're getting Call of Duty because we still gotta wait and see how it turns out, bro. Microsoft made all these promises. Let's see how it turns out with the hardware, bro.
They're not competing for the same audiences, like you said, especially with third-party games, which is the bulk of PlayStation sales. When it comes to like their audience and subscribers and what people play on a weekly basis, you see that chart come out every week from NPD. Is all third-party multiplayer games.
Yeah. So I think that's why I think PlayStation sees Nintendo in a different lane. Yes, they're both console manufacturers and they make consoles for gamers to buy, right? But once again, one offers a totally different product. Like y'all should see that. Like one offers like a totally different experience versus the other.
No, I just wanted to pose the question. I agree though. I don't think they see Nintendo as their competition. That's why. But Xbox at this point ain't their competition either. I just wonder how long that'll take to change from a business side.
It's crazy, man. Like when you look at Nintendo's latest sales, their updated sales reports with their software, like isn't it wild to think that Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has sold more than most game franchises? I'm talking in a span of
8 years.
No, of a series life.
Yes. Horizon, I think.
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe alone has outsold The Last of Us as a franchise.
Damn.
That means PS3 remastered, Part 1 and Part 2.
And Part 2 remastered.
And Part 2 remastered. One fucking thing, because I think the number, I feel like I wrote it, I saved it. I think the updated number of The Last of Us as a franchise, of its total sales was around like 45 million.
Hey, J-Man, with that info, do you still question why they put the games on Switch?
as of January 2023, this is as of January 2023. So obviously it sold more copies since then. So, but as of 2023, it says The Last of Us as a franchise has sold 37 million copies. So even if we up it by 5 million, like, you know what I mean? Like that's nuts if you really take it in. Like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has literally sold more than like the entire Last of Us franchise. I think it sold more than the entire Uncharted franchise as well. Like that's just one game, bro. Like that's nutty. I think that's the only reason why Nintendo can do what they do.
It was on the two platforms too, though. It was on the two
platforms. But this one specifies though. This one specifies Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, not the combination, not just 8 with the Wii. This one specifies. So if we combine 8 and Deluxe, the numbers is disgusting because I think that's like one of the best selling games on the Wii U. You know what I'm saying?
For the 13 million people that bought the Wii U.
Yeah, that might be like one right there.
Now I'm actually curious to see how much Mario Kart 8
sold on the Wii U.
On the Wii U, yeah, Mario. Nintendo puts out the numbers too. You can find it too. They put out the numbers.
Might have to go back to an older report. Okay, so I'm looking at a report as of September 30th, 2024 for the Wii U sales. That's why I love Nintendo when it comes to this shit.
Yeah,
because they definitely got updated sales here. Mario Kart 8 on the Wii U is at 8.46 million.
You see that? That's nothing.
That's more than half of the player, like the console base.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
So that, yep. It's actually, I think, the best-selling Wii U software too.
It is. Mario Kart 8. Yeah.
So that new Mario Kart 9. Oh my God, it's clearly like Nintendo's most popular IP right now. I think when it comes to at least the Wii U and the Switch, it's at the top for both.
Yeah. That game's going. When Mario Kart 9 drop, that's going to be a problem. That's going to be a problem when that
people
drop.
be gassing up Animal Crossing and those sales, but that definitely had the COVID tax on it, yo.
It did. Absolutely.
Animal Crossing did. It did.
Historically, it does well though. Historically, it does well. Let's not front on it.
If it wasn't for the pandemic.
Let's not front on it. Historically, Animal Crossing sells well. Go look at the DS and 3DS numbers. Historically, they do
not well, that well though.
I would agree. But one could say when's the last time did Mario Kart sell this much? How much did Mario Kart sell on the Wii? Maybe that's the last time Mario Kart Wii probably did really good. But I wonder how much Mario Kart Wii. How many copies?
Actually, I might be able to see it here. 37
Mario Kart
million.
Wii, yeah, 37 million.
What?
So,
yep.
That's crazy.
This is just it just seems like everything on the Switch is just a gold mine in general. It was just a gold mine. Everything sold more. Everything just sold more than what it traditionally sold. But if you go back and look at some of I believe
Mario
it's called
Kart 8 Deluxe is at 67 million?
Yes, 67 million.
What the fuck? I thought it was like 30 something.
No, it's at 67 million. Y'all not taking that crazy that is?
These games don't go down in price either. So the lowest you get it is for like $40.
Yo, I mentioned it before on the podcast. Like they literally have the formula. They have the cheat code. They literally have the cheat code because once again, we're talking about 67 million copies sold. And I would bet anything that Mario Kart is not $100 million game though. I'll bet anything that costs $100 million to make no Mario Kart 8
Hell no.
Nope.
So no. Plus, what Strat said, they don't be doing no price drops for their games like that. For real.
Right. Sony actually started copying Nintendo with that shit because this
generation. I noticed that.
Sony, they wait now like a year at least for the first party games to drop the price.
Yeah.
That's only digital or physical, you mean?
Digital, at least they don't go. I'm not saying don't go.
I feel for like physical, like you can get.
Oh no, physical definitely go. Yeah.
But that's Nintendo. Not.
Yeah.
I think Nintendo with digital, it's $60 all year long.
Yeah, it's
even Mario Kart DS went crazy, 23 million.
Now, do y'all think Nintendo's gonna up the price to $70 for their games?
Yes.
Well, they already did it with.
Did they with Zelda?
Yeah, did they?
Tears of the Kingdom, I think, was their one and only $70 game.
So I think this is gonna be their new baseline going forward. I could definitely see that. I could definitely see that happening.
Hell yeah!
Man, it's gonna be a big week next week when it comes to the Switch 2. It's gonna be a very big week.
I'm excited. I can't wait.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
I'm excited for the reveal as well.
So wait, was Animal Crossing?
Is that on Wednesday? I might take the day
DS
off.
game before only, or
get that Switch?
Say that again.
Did it come to the? Was Animal Crossing a DS only game before?
No. They dropped on the GameCube and it dropped on the Wii as well. They dropped on the GameCube and the Wii. But
I'm assuming maybe the DS one was the best selling one.
Yeah,
prior?
it was popularized on like the handheld was always been the popular ones. Like New Leaf. New Leaf was like a big game. I remember when New Leaf dropped. That was a big game at the time.
I'm seeing Wild World was like, unless that's New Leaf, and because this might be the Japanese version, but it says Animal Crossing Wild World 11.75 million, and that was a DS game. So
Animal Crossing.
Oh, New Leaf. I see 13 million.
Yeah.
13
see, like
million.
the numbers were never bad. Like we're talking 13 million copies. That's still a really fucking good, especially at the year that it came out. We're talking about a game that came out in 2012, right? For it to sell like 13 million copies on one edition, that's really fucking good. You know what I'm saying?
Copies,
yeah. It ain't 47 million, though.
Yeah.
Went absolutely ham. Oh man. I miss COVID a little bit. I ain't gonna.
Good times.
Collecting that the government money and staying.
That was beautiful,
home,
bro.
Bro, I wish I was. I wish I was, man.
Good times.
I had to go to work. I wish I had a job that fired me, man. I would have been living glad.
I didn't even get fired, bro. I didn't even get fired. I just stayed home for a bit and I collect that joint, bro. I stayed home for a bit and collected that joint, bro. Work slowed down. Work slowed down for me a bit, so I got to collect my little money and I stayed my ass home, bro. That shit was nice.
Versus was
I remember Doge and Kofi was selling ass for like turnips or something. I don't remember exactly what it was. I just knew it was something to do with turnips.
Yeah. I think they operate like stocks. They operate like
crazy.
stocks in Animal Crossing.
Selling ass for turnips is crazy.
So the turnip prices, you have to pull up to people's islands because sometimes they have a better price where they're selling turnips.
I think people would tweet it out and then bam, like 10 people coming into your island.
Loki could have made a little money off that. You want to get this code to sell your turnips? Yo, send me a little.
Yeah, sell your server.
You know what I mean? PayPal me a little $10 real quick.
A little microtransaction.
You know what I mean? That shit was fly, bro. Now what a time, man. Animal Crossing is fire. I gotta boot up my shit back, yo. That shit's probably all
no, you don't.
Mad weeds. I might have cockroaches in the crib and shit by now. Like, shit'll be nasty over there, bro. But yeah, man, I think that's enough of the Nintendo Direct. I guess we're all just gonna wait for the Switch 2 Direct next week, and we're gonna talk more Nintendo. You know, this is probably the most Nintendo we talked about in this podcast in a very long time. So
yeah, and this day, the rumor has it that the pre-orders is going live probably same day. So
really?
Right after the Direct. So get your bots ready. Make sure you got all your accounts logged in and your credit card information on file, because it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah,
it's gonna be wild.
I think I got a Switch 2 pre-ordered already.
What the fuck? How?
Yeah, I locked that in. I locked it in with my spot. I just told him, yeah, I got that.
With who?
I got a store called Shop 2 over here. So I'm plugged in.
Yeah, nah, they got you, nigga. They about to get you sell you an Engage or some shit like that. I don't know what you pre-ordered. You got a Palm Pilot.
I said you got a Switch 2 already.
I got a Switch 2
Nah.
That boy took your deposit and ran with it. He ate lunch with that shit. Nigga ate lunch with your deposit, bro. What are you talking about?
I don't know what you got.
Yo, struggling with Switch 2 pre-orders, just not got mine already, yo.
Yeah, we got a super chat donation from Jazzy Jefferson with a big 20. We do appreciate it. He says shout out to everybody on the panel. He said hoping for Gravity Rush, Loco Roca, Parappa, and how do you pronounce it? Lagia? I know what game.
Lagaya.
Lagaya. Yeah. I know. I heard of that game before. I never played it. Make their way to Nintendo. Whole slate rooting for Astrobot in Smash. That'll be a cool cameo.
Oh, Astrobot Smash?
That'll be
shit.
fire.
What they put him in Mario Kart?
Yeah. Do you think I don't think we get a new Smash anytime soon, though.
Yo, they went so crazy with Ultimate. You know what? I think we get an Ultimate Deluxe. That's what I think.
Or they started releasing DLC like they did Mario Kart.
That game is jam packed. Like, what else can you do with that? I think they just do a deluxe. And
I don't know.
What's dude's name? Sakurai? Ain't that the?
Yeah, Sakurai.
No, because Smash Ultimate was already a deluxe for the Wii U one.
Was it?
No.
Yeah.
No.
That was a new entry. Was a new entry.
It's a new entry, bro. It's a new entry. Trust.
You remember the Etika videos? He was going crazy with that.
It was definitely a new entry. So it'll be hard. Yo, how do you even top that? At this point, like, if they would have to either drastically change the gameplay and just start fresh.
New mechanic.
Right? New mechanics and start fresh with less characters. Or they're just gonna make a deluxe version and maybe add like 5 more characters and call it a day.
Either you add like less characters really well refined, or maybe you do it's like a tag team type of thing where you control 2 characters. Yeah, I don't know what else you can do.
That's the only way. I feel like the series has somewhat peaked in the sense of like, yo, the game was always about cameos and rosters, but they did so much for Ultimate. They literally did across the board, from music to characters, appearances and stuff like that. They did so much. So it's kind of hard to imagine they do a Smash like Ultimate 2 where it's even more. So I think the only way to go from here is to do less, but drastically change gameplay. Right? And like what Strat said, maybe a tag team, maybe a 2-on-2 type of gameplay now. Or I don't know. I don't know if that even makes sense. But they would have to drastically change the gameplay and start with less characters again. Then build back up with this new gameplay model. That's like the only way I can see it working.
That's risky as hell. Whew, that's risky.
Or they just do like a
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Or they just do a Mario Kart 8 Deluxe type shit and just release.
Now, do they do the deluxe, or do they just do like a paid upgrade? now featuring better Wi-Fi connectivity, all that type of stuff.
Oh, nah, they're gonna make it its own
Ethernet.
SKU. That's gonna be its own SKU. Like they're gonna have that as just like they did Mario Kart. If they do something like that.
That's a really interesting like case study a little bit on like I'm very interested to see where that franchise goes from here because like once again, Ultimate did a lot. So I don't know how they go beyond that. Like it's
Do you think they ever bring Smash and put it on a 3D plane instead of the 2D?
No.
No. Okay,
crazy.
I'm just asking because that would be.
You wanted to play like Tekken? You wanted to play like Tekken, nigga, bro? That's crazy.
Play like Tekken, of course, because the characters are, that size.
I don't know how that would work. Yeah, that'll fuck up my brain, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro.
Right, that's what I'm saying. That's how much of a drastic change it would be. But I'm just, trying to throw it out there because, somebody in the chat brought up like they had the DS Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate, and that felt like. It was, the peak, but then they came out with Worlds, which, just opened it up more. But I'm just thinking, like, how would you open up Smash more?
And that's why I came up with the 3D
play.
I don't know where
maybe
you go.
a more focused campaign. I don't know.
I don't
Whatever
know,
they do,
bro.
Don't do what Multiverses did. Don't do what Multiverses did, because you saw that let though.
Yeah. Do you think they changed the? Do you think it's a possibility that they changed what's it called? The requirements to like I know like Smash has a stock mode, right? Where you obviously the whole goal is to build up the damage and knock the player off the screen. Do you think
no, that's so iconic to it.
That's kind of iconic. That's what I was thinking too. I'm like, yo, that kind of gameplay is iconic. So how do you even change that? Like, how do you evolve that? Like, you're not gonna go to PlayStation All Star, right, and just tie it to supers because people didn't even really fuck with that like that. People didn't even like that.
Nah.
Yeah.
I don't know where they go. That's gonna be interesting to find out. Like, where this new Smash goes. I think they're gonna play safe. That's my prediction. If I was making a prediction, I think they play safe and just re-release that old joint again, bro. They just re-released it.
Yeah.
And make it better somehow, a little better.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's move on, man. Let's move on. I do want to talk about this God of War rumor, man. The 20th anniversary of God of War came and went. All we did is get a new shield, a new skin. You know what I mean? For God of War Ragnarok. We're hoping that we're going to get like some sort of God of War collection. It didn't happen. Or remake. It didn't happen. But
the best thing that came out of that was seeing TC Carlson and dude that plays Kratos now taking a picture together and shit. Like them acknowledging what TC Carlson has done for the young Kratos character.
Yes, sir. So, there's a rumor going on right now. Another God of War rumor saying that apparently there's a side story project set in Greece coming this year. A couple people have said it. I think Jeff Grubb has said it. I think he said something about the collection.
I don't believe what Jeff Grubb says.
Yeah. But he'd be right. He's been right. Sometimes he's been wrong.
Has he, though?
He has been right.
I feel like he's more wrong than right.
He's been right sometimes, so we ain't gonna
I feel like as of recently, he's been a little bit more than wrong. But,
they put together a list of every time he was wrong. It was a long list.
It was a long list.
It was a long list.
But
I trust Nate to hate. I rather like if Nate the hate's not tweeting
Nate
nothing
the
out,
hate, he's like been the best lately.
Yeah. But it seems like it's not only him saying it. I felt like I saw another source saying that a side project, and he kind of like co-signed it too. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, as long as Atreus won't go scrapped.
Here's the thing: they know
Atreus hate need to stop.
They think it's a set in Greece, but we don't know who's developing it. We don't know what kind of genre it is. It could be a side scroller for all we know.
That is true.
I hear Santa Monica is supposed to be.
Is it? Is it them for sure?
No, it's not. It's not confirmed or anything. But I was hearing that it's supposed to be Santa Monica as like a side project.
I mean, they did Valhalla, and we didn't know about it. That was fantastic.
Yeah, that was fire.
So what do you think, man? If God of War drops this year, like a little side story, that'll be a pretty big surprise, right?
Oh yeah,
it would be. I just wonder what perspective they would do. Like, is it going to be like the Valhalla when you got the little taste of Greece, and that with the same style as Ragnarok in 2018, or are they going to go back to the old perspective for this?
No. Because they got think about it, they got that old the new old Kratos modeled already. They got the enemies all modeled already.
That's true.
Might as well make a little campaign set there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
you know what?
I guess you're right.
You know how you make it fresh? I say you take it back. Sometimes you step back, right? So keep this one fresh. So the next time they do another entry to the God of War, whether, you know, Kratos is going to Egypt or wherever, then they go back to this Last of Us behind the back style. I say if they're doing a side project, I'd personally like to see it done in the old style. Personally, I would like to see it done in the old style. Especially if it's gonna be a smaller game. Let's go back to the roots a little bit. Make a God of War 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 style of type of game with that kind of combat.
Yeah.
I think that would be pretty cool to see in modern day. I think I would like.
I think it depends.
If it's Greece, he's definitely a more mad Kratos. So I can see him seeing the and the
gameplay fits
top
better
down
for that,
working
right?
better. Exactly.
Yeah,
it's not as slow of a gameplay.
But that's what I was gonna ask. Like, I think it's gonna be him going back, but it's like a prequel style story, or like just a story while he was younger, or is it going to be him now going back to Greece? But now, now Greece isn't Greece done? Like, it's
he can't. He can't go back.
He can't go back. So it would be. Yeah. So in the fact that it would be an older story, I would want it to be like that top down. Not fully top down, but.
You know what? Yeah. The controlled camera, like the controlled camera angle perspective and shit like that. You know?
Yeah, I would want it like that.
How do you,
was the Spider-Man supposed to be this year, or was that supposed to be next year in the
Spider-Man?
Which Spider-Man?
I don't think that's coming out.
Venom.
I don't think it's happening anymore. I don't think it's happening
anymore.
Yeah, the Venom shit.
I think they can.
Venom. I think it was rumored to be this year, fall 2025.
Yeah, I don't think that's happening. I'll be shocked if somehow like, oh shit, we got a Venom game or a side story for. I don't know, but I don't think it's happening. That'll be a big surprise though.
I know they scrapped the DLC.
Yeah, they scrapped it. I still do think the Venom game is happening.
I think they could have scrapped the DLC to put it in the Venom game.
Yeah, I think.
And all the Spider-Man 2 stories don't go nowhere. They're like, yo.
I mean, they could be saving them for 3 at this point, but I do think we could at least something like a Venom game or something like that.
What year? If you don't mind me asking, what year?
It might be next
this year.
Hey, so you think a Spider-Man? You think a Spider-Man game dropped in this year?
Yeah. Where's this Venom game gonna take place though? As well, like.
I think we get Death Stranding, Spider-Man, and Ghost this year.
Death Stranding, Spider-Man. Yeah, I can see that.
Crazy.
Oh, and then PlayStation gotta show it soon, man. They definitely gotta show it soon. See what's up.
Right, that's a fact.
Okay, so we can move on from that and let's move to Assassin's Creed, man. Let's talk about Assassin's Creed real quick. We got some numbers. J-Man, fill us in with the numbers. Got
you. All right, so updated actually as of today, after the Assassin's Creed social media account went to war with Elon Musk and Grubbs.
Them boys.
Cooked them. Told Elon Musk, they say something about somebody playing on his Pillars account, and then they told Grubbs at least that their game is out.
Yeah.
And playable and shit like that. So that was cool. I like when the social media accounts clap back like that. Like, don't let these nerds be talking shit like that. You know what I mean? Somebody say something. But they came out with some more of these player count numbers, which, they don't do nothing for me, but I guess for them and their stockholders, it helps. Yeah. But I would really like to know what the sold numbers are.
Yeah.
But as of right now, Assassin's Creed Shadows has 3 million players across all platforms. The day one launch on PlayStation was its best ever on the digital front. And it was the most wishlist Ubisoft title of all time. And the PC represented about 27% of total activations, whatever the hell that means. And, they said it likely encompasses full sales and the subscription download across the Ubisoft Plus. In addition to that, what else we got here? So it's the second best-selling Assassin's Creed game at launch, only second to Valhalla, which came out in 2020. So, people are attributing like the pandemic to the increased sales of that.
Was it launch title as well?
What you say?
It was a launch title, right?
Oh, for the PS5?
I believe so.
No.
And Series X?
Is it not that kind of timing?
It was right before. Wasn't that right before? Maybe.
I think it might have been around there.
It was pandemic time. It was pandemic time.
They usually launch the Assassin's Creed games. Yeah, it was November 10th, 2020. So I think they came out the same day, I think, as the PS5, or around the same day as the PS5.
Yeah, launch stimulus.
Launch, and it was on more platforms too, because it was still cross-gen at that point. So seems like this game is doing pretty good.
Yeah. Typically, Assassin's Creed games perform well, so I don't think this one's going to do any different. I think it's going to go on to sell a good amount of copies, and it seems like, Ubisoft clapping back at the grifters and stuff like that. I saw a lot of people, quote retweet them saying, I'm buying your game now.
Yeah, like what kind of bullshit is that?
Look what it takes for people to buy a game, bro. Look what it takes.
Right, a clap back on social media.
That's freaking crazy, bro.
They don't give a fuck. Shit, you a sale, we'll take it. But I'm just like, you ain't even gonna play the game or nothing. Like, you just care because of that.
Okay. So there's some other Ubisoft news I think we should, since we're on the topic of Assassin's Creed. I don't quite understand it too well. So maybe I know one of y'all could break it down.
Yeah, I'll definitely introduce the topic. So, throughout the past few years, Ubisoft has been struggling with some of their titles as far as sales go. We saw what happened with Star Wars Outlaws, and I don't think the Avatar game did that good as well either. In addition to other smaller titles, like in addition to smaller titles like what's the Prince of Persia?
Prince of Persia.
They said that. Yeah, that game didn't do too well either. So a lot of people was thinking, it might be the end of Ubisoft, and they might either sell off their IP or close down or yada yada. But as we learned today, they created a new subsidiary, which has their main
big boys
moneymaker franchises under the subsidiary, such as Assassin's Creed franchise, Rainbow Six franchise, Far Cry franchise. Those are like the main pillars of the subsidiary, and Tencent actually is like a 25% investor within that subsidiary. So to me, it seems like what they're trying to do is make sure that those franchises are safe, because those are the money makers, so that if anything actually does happen to the big overarching entity of Ubisoft, those are good, and they can figure out what they're going to do with anything else that doesn't make as much money or might be a risk when it comes to creating like new IPs and stuff like that.
Okay, so Strap.
They just hire. I think a big problem they have is they just hire too many people. They have more employees than PlayStation. I think it's
a lot of
outsourcing. It's a lot of franchises they got.
They do a lot of outsourcing too. They outsource to a lot of developers, bro.
I'm shocked the Division's out there in that Tom Clancy games, Ghost Recon.
Yeah, I think Division would still be there.
What does it mean for the other less popular franchises then? What does this mean for them? Are they on the chopping block? Like, what does that mean?
Yeah, so I think for those, what it means is that you probably got one or two more mistakes. Not mistakes, but like you basically are on a what have you done for me lately basis. So if the next time you put out a project, if it doesn't do well, then it might be over for that. And then we just move on to the next one.
Well, they got to take it like... I think they're just spending too much time on these games too.
Like development, too much cost,
time and money. Yeah.
Straight disappointed. Skull and Bones is it in the collection?
I mean, I wanted that game to be great. I did.
Did you end up playing that shit?
I tried, bro. But the problem with that game is, in the beginning, they had you doing too many fetch quests in the ship. Why am I collecting wood from a tree in a ship? Like,
yeah, nah.
That's not. Like, I just want to battle,
Yeah,
it's not great.
So Ubisoft is still, I guess, under some financial trouble, despite all of this shit happening. I guess they can't afford too many more flops, so they're making moves to protect their prominent IPs. I guess in layman's terms, that's what's happening here. They're trying to protect their prominent IPs, right?
Yeah. And they got 19,000 employees.
Yeah, they got studios all across the world.
A lot in Canada too, man.
Yeah, I think all the Canadian studios are safe. because those ones work on Assassin's Creed, Far Cry type of games.
We got a lot of.
Who was it? Ubisoft Montreal made
Montreal
the
got a lot of
Montreal, Montreal, Quebec, some other ones over there. I don't know.
Yeah, we got a lot of Ubisoft studios in Canada and in Quebec and in Montreal and shit. So
I know last week the investors were trying to. Some of the investors were like trying to file some kind of lawsuit because they were going to like Microsoft and trying to sell these IPs, or at least having those kind of conversations. And they were like, "Oh yeah, you didn't run as fast as." So this is maybe something to do with that as well, with them, putting it all under that one label.
Mm-hmm. I can see them partnering with other studios with their IPs.
They just need a winning formula. Yo, you know what I found? Yo, everyone just
they had one for 10 years.
Do what Capcom did. Remember, Capcom wasn't always in the good place. Then they did what? Started remaking fucking classics. That's just the strategy, man.
Black Flag coming.
Remake. EA, you too. EA pisses me the fuck off, bro. What? Like, EA has some amazing OG classic games that they could tap into that will resonate with a lot of people if they just did collections. If EA did collections, I think their collection line of games would be extremely popular. I know that they have to jump through hoops to get licensing and music. And you have to spend some money there, but I think it will be worth it. Can you imagine? Like, I made a tweet. Imagine if they did like an EA big collection. That would be so fucking fire. I think the price and putting that together. I'm not saying remake every single one of these games. You could bump some of the resolution, maybe make it widescreen, because some of these games, I could boot up an emulation of like NBA Street Volume 2 right now on my PC, and it's still a great game. It's still a great game. All it needs is a resolution boost and maybe put in widescreen perspective or something like that.
Vendetta, SSX, and all of that. Hell yeah, those will still be great games.
Those are still fun games to play, bro. Make a collection. What's up?
The problem is, Kofi, yo. The problem is, I don't think Ubisoft has the classics. Like, you're bringing up Capcom and who else? Konami's been doing the same formula. They copied the same formula. That's what with Silent Hill 2. And
it would work. Metal Gear 3.
They got Splinter Cell.
I don't think Ubisoft got them kind of classics. And even if they bring back Assassin's Creed games, they never stop making Assassin's Creed. So it's like
I don't think that's all the way true.
But it's a different style. It's a different style.
I think Ubisoft got some games, bro. Like they really
Prince of Persia,
which
they are working on.
If Mans brings back Assassin's Creed 2 remastered, like I don't think
a remake
crazy for that.
It's supposed to be doing 4. It's supposed to be doing 4.
You tweaking?
You think if Ezio
you're tweaking? I think you're wrong about
that.
Ezio is probably Ezio is probably one of the most popular assassins like in the whole fucking franchise.
Definitely,
if they remake 2, not in the what's it called, the new style, the RPG style, but kind of the classic style with kind of shadow style visuals. Can you imagine that they remade 2 with shadow style visuals? I think that'll go crazy. I think that goes nuts. I think it goes crazy because once again, 2 is one of their most prestigious games that they got. They should do 1 and 2 easily. That's like a moneymaker right there. Remake, man, like get with the program, bro.
But they need to remake it and not spend too much money on it, and then big profits. You know what I mean?
That's true.
People have been asking for Splinter Cell for so long, and they haven't done shit with it. Prince of Persia has been in a development hell with that remaster or remake, whatever they're supposed to be working on.
Yeah, they started from scratch.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying, J-Man. If they scared to add it to like
could because there's no stealth games like that anymore. So maybe something shake with that. Yeah, like what stealth game drops these days? So maybe they can make something shake with that, but I still think that's a risk. That might go plastic as well.
Black Dragon in the chat said they already did the Ezio remaster collection, but that's not what I'm talking about. I feel like they didn't execute it right. That's why I didn't care about it.
That was just like a resolution bump and stuff.
All they did is just port those over and they put package together. It was a shit package. I'm talking about a remake. I'm talking about like a part 1 type of remake. I'm talking about a Resident Evil 2 remake. I'm talking about a Metal Gear Solid 3 Delta type of remake of Assassin's Creed 1 or 2. I think those would resonate with people if they actually really try to make those games update them to like modern graphics, and maybe tweak the controls so they feel a little bit better, but still preserving the old style of gameplay. I think
they can remaster everything before Unity, honestly.
They might need to fall back on 3. I ain't ready to come and say, hey, people will go back and play 3.
Hey, 3 is a great game.
3 is kind of mid. 3 is kind of mid. But I think 1 and 2 has the most room for like at least from a visual perspective, that they can go fucking nuts, especially if they can make it anywhere near like as close to Shadows like type of visuals. I think that'll be a really really dope thing to see. Splinter Cell, once again, if they're scared of making a new entry, remake, bro. Just remake one of the most popular ones, Prince of Persia: Sands of Time. I thought whatever happened with that shit, bro. Like they got Rayman games, bro. There's like, yo, Rayman, like do something, bro. Remake some of your classics.
Even Konami is getting back into the good graces with remakes, so yeah, this shit works.
The shit works.
I don't know if Streets is hopping on Rayman, yo.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that one. Maybe that one it might not be as popular. But it depends. It depends because the 2D joints. I feel like the 2D joints did pretty well. Like when they brought.
Was
that
Rayman
back.
Legends the last one they made?
I think
yes.
So.
Because that was received well.
I think both of them were. Origins and Legends. Wasn't it Origins and Legends were like the two ones?
Yeah, Origins came out I think 2011. I think Legends was like 2013. If they didn't do nothing after that, then that's a shame.
I remember the other one. The second one went plastic. I remember that.
What, Legends?
They released I remember the first one was supposed to be Wii U exclusive, and then it wasn't anymore. It went everywhere.
Yeah, I remember.
I think I played it on
like
that. I think I played it on Wii U, and they dropped the second one. And the second one flopped. That first one was not that good, yo. Everyone was gassing on that first one. Was not that good.
People used to say that's like a real competitor to Mario.
That was a fun game though. The Origins was a fun game when it dropped. But I feel like EA has a lane where they really could cook if they took the remaster lane serious. Like if they're ever down bad, you know what I mean? Just do that. Just go ahead and do that, bro. Remaster some of y'all classics.
You itching for that zombie U?
My God.
I'm not itching for a zombie U, sir. I'm not itching for
Lost Planet. They ain't gonna never bring that back, but
that was a great series.
Lost Planet was my shit.
I understand making a AAA SSX probably won't make no money today.
Oh, that was Capcom though.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A AAA SSX won't make no money, but at least do a collection. That shouldn't be.
I don't know because Tony Hawk people would buy the snowboarding one.
I love SSX, bro.
Yo, when it comes to Ubisoft like classics, I'd give them Far Cry 3, but the games aren't that much different for them to be like remaking it and it's just like going crazy. I think it's like it's the same.
You feel like the newer entries are too different from the old ones to make people care?
Too similar.
Oh, too similar. Gotcha.
I feel like
so it's like
I don't know. I feel like you could pull it. I feel like nostalgia is easy to pull on. You think
Far Cry 3? You think Far Cry 3 full remake?
I think they remastered that though already, didn't they?
No, they didn't.
They remastered it, but it wasn't a remake. They did. They put it. It's on PS. It's on PS.
Yeah, it is. They did remake it. Yeah.
I feel like Far Cry 3 is probably the most
saying
the most talked about one. Yeah, like people.
That's the best one. That's the best one, but.
Yeah, but they have to remake these shits properly. Like, you know, like when I'm talking about remake, like I already gave you examples. Like they gotta do it. They gotta do it properly. Like how Capcom kind of remade their way.
I need to know what
back
games
into success.
Kofi.
Huh?
When you're talking about Capcom and Konami, they go like farther back in the catalog. These are still like relatively like PS3 generation. Games. So you're not digging back to like PS2 type of situations.
Yeah, who knows what Ubisoft.
I mean, they're trying to make Beyond Good and Evil, but who knows if that's ever coming out now.
Yeah. I feel like if that game comes out, it's gonna fucking flop. Like I know it has like this cult following, but I don't even think the masses care about Beyond Good and Evil. I bet you a lot of y'all niggas in this room didn't even like touch that game, bro. Shit. I remember playing that game, but I didn't even finish it. I didn't finish it though.
From the videos they showed about it though, it looks like the tech in it is crazy.
They need to bring back Rainbow Six Vegas, man. That style of Rainbow Six game, I need that. So Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter was my shit.
Future Soldier for me, man.
That was old school shit, bro.
I used to play the Graw demo on 360 like religiously.
That shit was classic.
No, I want like a Vegas style Rainbow game though.
Okay.
We need some more of those, 6v6 third person shooters like that.
Yeah. Okay, so another hot topic that's been circling around is that I think there was a screenshot that Microsoft posted somewhere in some sort of article. I guess they were posting something. Let me see if I can find exactly what I forget. I feel like they were okay.
For
I
the
think it
new,
was a part of
new
an ad.
UI.
Yeah, I think it was an ad. I don't even think they meant to really show it, right? But I think it was I don't
Mhm.
know if it's some sort of ad, but it did showcase a new UI
Yeah.
that was across multiple devices, whether it would be the laptop, ROG Ally, TV. You know, they have Xbox and the Series S in the picture, both of them, both of the consoles. And you know, people took notice that this new UI had a tab that said Steam on it, right? So it sparked a lot of conversation because once again, there's been rumors on how this next Xbox is gonna look like, right? We don't
Right.
know if this next Xbox is gonna be traditional, like what we've been getting, or are they gonna, are they gonna be taking a different approach where it's gonna be some sort of hybrid PC that Microsoft is gonna allow other storefronts like Steam, the Epic Game Store, for their customers to buy games there as well, right? So that's been an ongoing conversation. Um, like what the new Xbox hardware is gonna look like, and
Hmm.
you know, I guess it's been very popular with the fanboys because I guess they're saying like Xbox's fanboys are kind of like trying to take this as a dub. Like, oh shit, does that mean that like we're gonna get access to PlayStation games now because PlayStation releases games on Steam, right? Then the
Mm.
PlayStation guys are be like, yo, PlayStation is gonna block this. They did that with GeForce Now. So it's just been another point in contention in the console wars that the Xbox guys are looking for any sort of victory, while the PlayStation
Right.
guys are also trying to step on anything. So, what
Yep.
are y'all thoughts about this being the case, in the sense that Microsoft's next console, um, and no, I was like, the funny thing is, I was actually reading the article. It seems like this is an update coming to their PC app where they might just unify everything. So
Yeah.
if you have a game installed on Steam,
Mhm.
it will show up in your Xbox joint as well. Because I don't know if
It's
you
like
guys
how
have noticed.
GOG.
Yeah, no, even Xbox, the Xbox app kind of already does this. Have you guys noticed that, or Strat, the people who play on PC here, right? Have you noticed that if you boot up a game on Steam that is an Xbox game, if you open up your Xbox app, like it shows like the achievements, like it's like it shows like one of your most recent games. It pops up to the top of the
Yeah,
list. Have
yeah,
you guys
yeah.
noticed that?
Yeah.
It
Even
does
if you're
pop
like
up.
friends are playing online, I think if they're playing like a game on Steam that
Yeah, it pops up. Yeah.
it shows that they're or
Same.
regardless of because like
It
I
shows
see
that they're
people
playing a
playing
Steam game or whatever.
right
It's
on
on
your
their
friends
PC.
list. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. Cause let me open up my Xbox app right now on PC. Cause
Yeah, like I see
yeah,
people playing
see,
Last of Us Part One, Monster Hunter
See,
Wilds.
this is a perfect example, right? Because my last couple of games that I booted up that are quote unquote Xbox games are Avowed, Forza Horizon 4, and Forza Horizon 4 is second on my list. I never played Forza Horizon 4 on the Xbox. I was
Hmm.
playing it. I
Mm.
was playing it on my Steam Deck, right? I was playing it on my
Huh.
Steam Deck, but it does require an Xbox sign-in. So maybe it could be something similar in the sense that this new PC app or whatever app that's coming that it's just gonna unify everything. You know what I mean? It's just gonna unify everything in the sense whatever you got installed, and it's just gonna pop up there too. So whether you can launch it there or not. Okay, but
Yep.
I guess once again, it kind of just had people talking, saying that like, yo, if this new Xbox is gonna allow multiple storefronts and stuff like that, do you think that PlayStation will go ahead and block their games from being playable on Xbox branded devices? Where do you guys fall on this debate that people have been having?
If it's possible, I think they will.
I don't know how it can be if the next Xbox is just a PC. How do you block that?
Right.
You know what I mean? I guess you would have if it depends on how they do the UI. Do you just boot up a PC on your Xbox, like just dual boot Xbox for like Xbox
Like the
Store stuff,
Windows.
and
Almost like a
then
Steam
into a
Deck, where it has
different
a desktop mode
exactly.
to install
Not even.
Steam and
It's like
Epic
you're
games.
it's like you're booting up Windows on your Steam Deck, or you boot up the Steam OS. You know what I mean? Or do
But
you
they,
boot up the Xbox OS and you boot up Windows?
because I think what they're trying to like unify the gaming experience between devices when it comes to Xbox. So that's why I would think it would be a little bit more confusing, or not confusing, but a little bit like almost like a loophole that they might go through to
But I
make it
feel
so
like,
that Steam is on there. Because if they unify everything and even like the
yeah,
PC UI and the Xbox PC console hybrid, whatever it is, UI is the same, then yeah, then how do you end up blocking?
How do you block that? How do you give people a good user experience? Because people launching a PC game, there's all these settings. You don't got performance or graphic mode. Like people are gonna.
It's definitely really interesting to see how they pull this quote unquote hybrid console off. Like I'm very interested to see how it's done.
I don't see people attaching to it if you don't got console like modes on these games. People want the simple user experience, or else they'll just go to PC.
Yeah,
that's a good point too. And then we expecting, like, if they're trying to make this next Xbox, a little bit different from what a traditional console is, then that might make it more expensive. Especially since it's not, the Xbox hardware isn't as sought after these days. So if you're trying to put like all of the best that you got into this next hardware, then yeah, that would make it a little bit more expensive as well.
And they make a lot of money through game sales. What are they, like? Are they just gonna sell some hardware now? Like,
see, that's what I was confused.
Like, what's the why would you want somebody to buy a game that's not on your store?
That's what I was confused about initially.
The whole Steam thing.
Like I feel like we had that conversation already. Like, yo, if you put Epic and Steam here, like what's gonna incentivize people to spend money on your store, and what the cuts and what's the split's gonna look like, right? Because once again, if I buy a game, yes, I'm using a Windows operating system, but if I make a purchase of a game on Steam, Microsoft gets absolutely $0 from that, like,
unless it's a Microsoft game.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know how that business is gonna work, and I don't know how this kind of, like, I feel like it's counterproductive to, it's a little counterproductive to, it seems like their new vision that they're trying to do. And I know they're trying to be everywhere, right? But they want a Game Pass, and they want that to succeed. But I feel like also putting this other competition on your platform, doesn't that kind of like you're cutting your nose to spite your face type shit, bro? It seems like that. Like, yo, don't you want Game Pass to see? So shouldn't you just only offer like Game Pass on this device? You shouldn't really offer much else. So at least people gravitate towards that, so you can get the best out of that. But look, it's consumer friendly. Don't get me wrong. I think it's a consumer friendly move, but I just don't understand the business behind it. That's just me. I don't see
who they're building this for. Because anybody who wants to do that will build a PC. How are these developers now have to optimize PC games for this Xbox hardware? That's most likely going to have the APU. You know what I mean? Like, that's a whole nother system.
It's a little convoluted. I watched the funny thing, like, we're having all these conversations for Microsoft just to drop another like typical traditional style console, but just
it has to be. Like, that's what that Series X was really strong. Well, these things aren't strong enough.
Yeah, technology moves fast.
Yeah. But I think one thing we can agree on is I think Microsoft will never take a loss on a console again. I think their console is going to be really expensive. I think it's going to be priced really high, and it's going to be for those who want it. I don't think they'll ever take a loss. They'll sell a console at a loss ever again. I don't think so. What do y'all think about that?
You're going to have to make that a super high-end console that
just for the
eclipses the next PlayStation if they want anything.
Yeah, I think at this point now they're just catering to their small demographic of fans that they got going on. I think that at that point, and those guys will buy anything Xbox. You know what I'm saying? So might as well just make a supercharged Xbox. Don't take a loss on the hardware, and just sell it at a premium. And the Xbox guys, the diehards, are gonna buy it, and that's your audience now. And you're still gonna release games multi-platform like you're doing right now, and try to focus on putting the games as much places as you want. And you could just promote to your Xbox fans that, we got the strongest hardware here. So just, So I think they're not going to leave the hardware just yet. I honestly think Microsoft got like probably one more generation or two tops. Then they're out of here.
Yeah. Maybe put some NVIDIA hardware in that Xbox,
NVIDIA, partner with them, do something different.
If you're really trying to go all out like they saying they are, just put that in NVIDIA, get that DLSS.
I think that's a wrap. I think they're already in talks with AMD. I think that's already been confirmed.
I know PlayStation is. I don't know about Xbox.
I think AMD has been confirmed for Xbox too, low key. I feel like AMD has already like kind of mentioned that they're working on some next new hardware type shit for all of them.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna do a drastic shift like that.
Yeah, I don't think they're doing a drastic shift too. I don't think so.
They gotta do something different. Like,
none of that's gonna save the console. None of that would, like, even if they did that, nothing like that wouldn't particularly.
Then what's the point? What's the point?
People that still want it. The small minority.
Yeah.
That's it.
I mean, I guess.
Yeah. All right, yo. I think that's mostly everything that mans want to discuss. Really, I know there were some other ones, but they're really not that popping topics, so we're just gonna let them rock. But I think we're probably gonna close out the podcast here. It was definitely a little bit of a shorter one, but hey, man, now that we got a little bit more voices, we could extend it so we don't have to skip.
Yeah, or even halfway. As I was about to say, this was looking low key like a skip if it was
skip week,
just me and Kofi.
Week, but we got a little more voices to you know what I mean in here, so we go ahead and do a little podcast. So
next week definitely gonna be a big one. Switch to
direct
next week. So I'll be live for that, but we also gonna talk about it on the pod too. So let's get it.
People crying about not being able to pre-order the Switch probably, and the bots taking over.
I'm telling you, it's gonna be crazy.
You think it's gonna be mayhem? Why do I feel like? Why do I feel like they're gonna be prepared?
It's gonna be a breeze.
I think it's gonna be a breeze too. I'm on team.
I don't think you can. Bro. I don't think you can make it enough.
Scalpers know what the original Switch did, and they want to capitalize on this. I'm telling you, they're not gonna.
I know, man, them scalpers nonetheless on a PS5 Pro. Them boys got.
Oh no, this different.
But the PS5 Pro was on.
This ain't no PS5 Pro. This shit, yeah, $400. Yeah, that's easy.
Dog, I feel like Nintendo is gonna meet the demand. That's what I feel like. I feel like they're gonna meet the demand.
I don't know. People been waiting for a new Switch, and this is not just hardcore people.
Months, bro.
This is not just hard. This is everybody. This is not just the hardcore. I don't know.
You can buy it. We're gonna wait and see, man. Right now, bro. You can buy one right now.
We're gonna wait and see, man. We're gonna wait and see. All right, so shout out to everyone who came through, watch the podcast. Shout out to everyone who hit the like button, and we will see you guys next week with another podcast. It's definitely gonna be a much better news week with all the Switch 2 news. So y'all have a good night, and we'll see you guys next week. Stay safe. Peace.
Later.